I can already hear the hate comments of you can't pay a penny anymore in Vegas. You can, and I'm going to show you that exact machine at the end of this video. I want to give you a whole tour of penny slots and my experience because I play slots all the time. My name's Emily. I used to live in New York City, so I used to go to Atlantic City all the time. I still go to Vegas all the time, so trust me when I say I know a thing or two about a thing or two with slots. But let's talk penny slots and everything that you need to know. The reality is most of the machines these days, the minimum you're going to be able to pay is about 30 cents. The majority of machines are about 88 cents nowadays. I don't know why it's 88 cents. It's such a random number, but so many of them are just like 88 cents machines. And a lot of people just get wrapped up in that cycle of like, oh, the machine's going to hit bigger, bigger, bigger. If you just stack your tickets, that's winning. If you win $10, keep it. If you win $20, keep it. If you won $50, keep it. That's $80 already. Only been there for like an hour. To stack your tickets with these small little wins, we get our free drinks, we play minimum bet, we have a good time, we're enjoying our life, and you make a profit and you pay for your whole trip. And I'm going to show you which machines you should play that are going to be the cheapest for the minimum bet. If you play max bet on these kind of machines, it's probably going to be like $1, where a lot of machines these days, it's like I said, it's 88 cents or $1 just for minimum bet. So if you find these machines, it's going to pay out more because obviously you're betting max on the machine, so it's going to pay out more. But first I want to show you exactly what these machines used to look like. And you used to be able to play a literal penny or a literal 5 cents, 10 cents. They have all kinds of these old machines. You can check it out down on Fremont Street. And there are actually still casinos in Vegas that you can play with change. Well, some of them are change and some of them are like tokens. So you have to trade in money for tokens, but it's still the same idea where when you hit, all the things come out and it's like ching, 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 ching. There's one over by Circus in Vegas on the Strip. There's one in El Cortez down on Fremont Street, but I'll show you those here so that you have an idea of where you can actually go if you want that old school Vegas experience. It's pretty cool. I gotta give it to them. Like, it's still fun. And even though you're not winning like thousands of dollars in tokens, it's still like at least $200 or so for some of these big hits. And think of it this way too, you're playing like quarters or you're playing dollar coins. So you're not paying like $8 a bet or something like this. It's probably like $1.25 if you're doing max bet with a quarter and stuff like that. So it's really fun when all the change comes pouring out. Fortunately for my experience, I hit big, but I didn't get all the change that came out. It basically emptied the machine and then printed out a paper ticket. So the reality is everything is paper these days. There's no such thing as an actual like penny that you put in the machine to like play anymore. So don't bring all this change to Vegas. You're not going to need it. If anything, you just exchange your $20 bill for a bunch of change at whichever casino that you go to, but don't bring all this change to Vegas. You're not going to be able to use it anywhere. Probably what's going to happen is they're just going to exchange it for their tokens, which now seem to be like the thing to do. Now I want to show you some of your best options. So the majority of them are called Konami. So this is a popular brand where they still do 30 cents as the minimum bet. Some of them you can get down to like 25 cents. I saw one that was 15 cents. So if you find the right Konami machine, you can find some really cheap bets in Vegas. And in general, in your local casino, they probably have Konami slots as well. So here are some of the popular ones that you should look out for. I've seen these in every casino, so they should be easy to find. Before you even start playing any of these games in real life, I want you to just download the free ones to your phone. Like, download the free casino games. They're free. Don't do the paid ones. Just do the free ones. They'll give you a free amount of money every day. Just do the minimum bet and get to learn how these different slot machines work, because once you know how it works, then you know when you see it in the casino. For example, I show this one all the time, but I'm going to show it again because it makes so much sense. So this one's called Scarabs. As it spins, it kind of builds up these wilds. If you don't know how to play the game, you don't know that somebody left it on 7, and then you walk up to the machine and you see 7. So instead of paying, 10 spins worth of money to get to the wilds, you only pay 3 spins worth. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think strategic in the casino. They're giving you free drinks because they want you to get drunk and lose track of how much money you're spending. But we are playing strategy. We are looking for these wins. We're not just playing to play. I mean, once you're up, you could do whatever you want. But the whole idea is you're here for a good time, not a long time. Think about that. You're here for a good time, not a long time. You want to stack your tickets, make your money, and bounce. If you are there for a good time, do whatever you want to do. But the idea is You win, keep it moving to the next casino, get your free drink, keep it moving to the next casino. I'm trying to get you guys to stop just throwing money in any random machine. Don't play the machines that you don't know how to play. Play the ones that you know how to play, and that's how you're gonna win. One of the main things that I do when I'm in Vegas is I'll have something like the Gamble Box. I'll leave a link to it down below in the description, but this thing is so cool. It's called a Gamble Box, and that idea is it has a slot here. So you put your money in the slot. So what I usually do is anytime I hit over 100, I'll cash out that ticket right away and I just put it in this box. And then for me to keep playing, because I've probably already been playing for like 3 hours, I have to go back to the room to get the key. So this is key because with slot machines, they have you in this cycle that it's like hit. I don't know. It's this like dopamine hit thing that casinos do. And the slot machine is kind of teasing you. It's almost going to hit. It's going to almost hit. And the next thing you know, you're putting another 20 in, putting another 20 in. But we're not doing that. In this video, I'm just talking about penny slots. So here's another video for you to know how to play other slot machines. But the idea is if it's not going to hit off $20, it's not going to hit. Honestly, it should be hitting in the first like 3 to 10 spins. But this Gamble Box will help you so much because you will put your money in there and then you will be like, oh my gosh, I have like $500 in here and I don't need to chase this bonus, which is probably only going to pay $10. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of gets you out of that like spin. And having that time to walk all the way back to the room, you're like, do I want to walk all the way back there or do I want to just like stop gambling at this point? Because I'm probably a little tipsy. Let's just go to another bar or like, you know, walk around. But it gets you out of that dopamine high thing. If you prefer to have direct access to your money, because maybe you only brought like so much for the trip, I suggest giving your big wins to like a friend that you're with. Always play with a friend. This is a really good tip for you guys. Always have a friend with you because they're going to stop you when you're in that dopamine cycle of like, let's get a hit. And when you put $10 in and your friend puts $10 in, you have $20, but you're not spending $20 every time, but you're trying $20 in the machine. So it's likely it's probably going to hit. If it doesn't hit, then it's easier to keep moving with a friend than it is to be like, oh, I'm going to get the bonus. Let me keep feeding money. And then you lose track of how much you actually put in. If you and your friend are splitting it, you guys are paying attention like, okay, we put 110, 110, 110, 110. You know what I'm saying? So always have a friend with you. That's like one of the best tips that I can give you guys, even on penny slots. But I know you're here to find which one you can actually play a penny on. So let me show you. In order to understand how you can bet just a penny, you need to understand how the betting lines work in slots. So here's an overall description of how they are. Here's a little more in depth with a background on it. So if you look at the blue line, you'll see that 1 penny is going to be 1 line. Now, if you want to bet 2 lines, it's going to be line number 1 in the blue and number 2 in the red. And this keeps adding up to about 100 actually, which would equal $1. So the idea with penny slots is that you're betting a penny for every line that you bet. And remember, in order to win, even if one of the other lines is a win, you won't win because you've only bet on line 1. So you're going to have to hit across line 1 in order to win. If you have 2, you're going to have to do either line 1 or 2 in order to win, etc., etc. Now, the other key to betting on penny slots is you want to make sure that your selection is always on a penny. Sometimes you sit down at a dollar machine. Sometimes you sit down at a 5-cent machine. Most of the time, you're going to sit down at a machine like this one, but always make sure you're on that 1 cent bet. Because as you can guess, if you're playing 2 cents, now you're betting 2 pennies. If you're paying 5 cents, now you're betting 5 pennies, etc., etc. So going back to the Konami machine that I showed you earlier, you can see here you're betting 15 cents because it is times 1 penny. If you're doing times 2, you're doing 2 times 1 bet at 1 penny. Now keep in mind, if you're on like a 2 cents or a 5 cents, now you're betting 5 cents times 1 at 15 lines. And remember, when you do hit, it's times 1 cent. So that's 3,000 pennies. So that's like $30. So my favorite game where you can play 1 penny still is called Bombay. So if you look here, you'll see you can do 1 line times 1 credit. 1 credit being a penny. Again, make sure you're set at a penny. But it goes all the way up to 100 lines times 1, which would be $1. So you're betting a penny on 100 lines. So if you find a good cocktail waitress, you can play that same dollar for a long time and get a bunch of free drinks. If this video helped you guys understand penny slots better, please hit that like so that other people can find me in the algorithm. Trust me when I say you're not the only one looking for this information, and I'm trying to help as many people as I can because these casinos are so good at sucking you dry. So I'm trying to do my part and be like, this is how I play. Hopefully it'll help you guys. If I'm always winning, then hopefully you guys will always be winning and you won't get sucked into that dopamine spin of things. It is what it is. Everybody has a bad day where they're just like chasing a bonus and they spend all their money and then they leave. But the idea of this video is to show you guys how to win at penny slots. So I hope I did you a good service, and let me know what your favorite tip was, or if you guys have other tips, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you in this video here because it's the one that YouTube thinks you'll like the most. See you there.